Hello everybody. I hope that your day is going good. Here I have to tell you ahead of time, this might not be a very long live because there's a whole let me show you. There's a whole storm system coming this way, and that usually means that I'm going to be in a lot of pain. Give me just a second. It's a lot of showers, and by what I have seen, the Norman National Weather System says about some tornadic activity possible in the southeast Oklahoma and northeast Texas area. It's not going to touch me, but anyway, the barometer is falling. Hi Sharon, hi Judy, hi Randy, hi Colleen. What I wanted to show you is how you can make some really neat looking hearts, and of course I'm making them a little bit bigger, but you can do the same principle for I mean, these would be like pendants, but you can do the exact same principle for earrings. And I did already bake some bases, so we can go for it. Hi Sonia, hi Black Onyx, hi Casimir, hi Darla. Okay, so essentially with this you can use a lot of your leftover pearlescence plus some black, and it is based on both the mica shift, not mica shift technique, but the mica shift in itself, because for people who are beginners and don't know what a mica shift is, all these metallic slash pearlescent polymer clays, they are actually full of mica particles. And I have and there's on my channel there's a playlist that's for beginners, techniques for beginners, and you can see there the whole idea is that these mica particles, they do, give me just a second, these are not perfectly clean because I didn't clean them after baking, but mica in itself is a mineral that's got flakes. So all these flakes are in here, and it doesn't matter if it's a natural or a artificial mica. As you get with the polymer clay through the machine, hi Sarah, all the mica particles will kind of arrange themselves, you know, kind of one on top of the other, so that looking from above on this you see all nice and shiny, but looking from the side you see dullness. Like you can see on this one, the side is a dark gray, but the front and the back are nice and shiny. Now I'm going to take advantage of that happening, and I'm going to do a very easy combination of the mica shift with Natasha. Hi Ellen, hi Elaine, yes I did. Hi Sarah. So the whole idea is the way you arrange these things to make it look better, because it's going to be like what I said, 2-in-1, because it looks like it's mirrored. So ideally you want to have, and I'm going to make a longer log so that I can have different things showing up in the middle. So first of all, get all your leftover clays. Of course you can use brand new clay. Get all these chopped, and you don't have to chop in tiny pieces. Just chop as is and make sure that they are not stuck to each other, because the way that they are going to be. And I'm using Premo because with Premo you can see the effect even before it's baked. Hi Beth. I already said hi Beth. I didn't. Hi Panda. I am so happy. I'm sorry you got COVID. I've been pretty much an hermit. Today this afternoon I'm going to pick up some more groceries. But I do the pickup. I'm not going in the store anymore. We have a very, very high infectious rate in Oklahoma. Hi Chris. And then I'm going to use this, which is a kind of messed up white. And as I said, I'm not going to chop it too small, but I want them to be not stuck to each other, because then they'll have the tendency to go again in one line. Okay, so I got these two. Let me get just a little bit of this gold, which again, it's not a real good gold because it's been mixed with some antique gold. But yeah, the thing with the... Hi Joanne. The thing with my kratom is, for the ones of you who are newer to my channel, I used to take opiate pain management, and I was finally able to go full natural. Unfortunately, marijuana doesn't work for me, so I'm taking kratom. Okay, so this is some bronze. It's real bronze, and it's not a scrap bronze. This is a little bit of graphite. Again, it's the real graphite, it's not a scrap. And actually this one I'm going to do a little bit more, because this will be kind of like more or less cores. And then the black, which is very important, because the black is going to give you more kind of underline the whole effect, and it won't give you any mica shift effect, obviously, but it will bring to focus more the whole mica shift thing. Hi Marita. Okay, and on the black, actually I want, if I can, because as you know, the black is not that terrific, the latest batches. And by the way, I found out why there is such a shortage of Premo. Trish told me it's because of COVID. They cannot have that many people in the factory. They did try to extend to working 24 hours, so having shifts, but with everybody, most people staying home and turning to crafts, the demand is way higher than what they can produce right now. So that's why you see polymer clay shortages everywhere. And I'm going to show real soon, I'm going to show some Fimo, especially canes, just because Trish told me that she has pretty much a good supply of Fimo Professional. So if you're completely running out of Premo and you want to do, I mean, Fimo is good not just for canes, it's excellent for canes. But you can definitely buy Fimo instead of Premo. Okay, now let's get to business. So I'm going to want to mix a little bit of, I'm going to have some of it right in the core, but I'm trying to mix these so that all those mica particles will look in different directions, right? Talking of which, give me just a second, let me see if I have it here. If you remember this tutorial, this is also based on the exact same thing, and you can see how, let me actually refocus a little bit so you can see better how beautiful the whole effect is. And this is also a chopped thing, but it's got translucent in it as well, and this was made with Cernit. Anyway, so we are going to be based on the same effect pretty much. Okay, so this will be one of the cores, and I'm going to actually get a little bit more in it, but make sure that you get your things kinda mixed, tossed really good. And I'm going to grab a few of the whites and mix them here. And then I'm going to leave a few of the whites to mix them with the gold. Again, have one gold core, get a few whites mixed with gold, so it will go one color, then a little bit of mixing with the next color, then the next color together, a little bit of mixing with the next color, and then the third color. And you don't have to do this, I just want to show you 3 different variations. Hi Randy, hi Nana. And then what I'm going to do is to place some of the bronze, and you want them to be pretty much chopped because you want those hard crystal, almost crystal-like lines. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of black and get it all over here. It's kind of like making a sushi if you want. Only that the effect will be beautiful. And then I'm getting my hematite. You don't have to put, not hematite, hematite is in Cernit. You don't really have to, if you don't have graphite and you have some silver, you can make graphite just by mixing silver with black. And then I'm going to get all this covered in the graphite, and then last one will be fully black. So as you can see, they were kind of loose up to this point, so I have a big blob of cuttings. Okay, now very gently I'm going to start pressing, very gently as I said, because I don't want to mess too bad with them, because I don't want those lines from the chopping to get too messed up, but at the same by the same token I don't want to have air pockets between them either. So, and as you can see, it's pretty much the middle has but the effect is really beautiful. And of course you can make it on a much smaller scale if you so decide, but let's go ahead and start cutting. Let me get my close-up glasses. So remember, each two slices will make a Natasha. They will be like twin mirrors. So I'm going to cut the end completely off. And then, because I might have to thin them out a little bit, I'm not going to go very thin. I'm going to go maybe like 1.5 millimeters. Okay, so these are the two. Let me go more in the middle so I can show you the doubles. Okay, so here I have the mirrors pretty much. Now I have to tell you that it will look much better when you have molded stuff like this. And talking about molded stuff like this, there is on PolyClay Play, as well as on my Amazon influencer store, but on PolyClay Play, let me get on all molds. She's got this 3D heart, is pretty, but it's very deep. I wasn't very happy with it. As you can see, it's like almost an inch and a half deep. But let me see. This one is fairly deep too. If you work only on the bottom and sides, it works great. I'm trying to find you find some this buttons thing is awesome if you're all into making buttons, and it does have some hearts. Then there's a hearts in the best flexible molds as well. Let me try and get to, because she's got this exact. Am I on the? I thought I was showing you. Okay, so you have the mold that I've been using. You can see she's got some heart lace that works great with the liquid clay. And as I said, I know that there is a best flexible molds hearts one. It's just, I just went on all the molds, so. And here you have some doves too, which work also great for Valentine's. Here's some, the Penny Bear Cherub has some hearts as well. Makins has a hearts push mold. And I still didn't get the hearts best flexible molds. Maybe I didn't see it. Yeah, you can see some of my tutorials are here too. You can actually, there's a section on PolyClay Play with tutorials of mine. Now, remember I said about that wings mold heart, that it's very, very deep. It's too deep. But you can use the other wings molds to actually create a heart. Yeah, I think I passed it. Let me try and get. So I was saying that the wings heart mold here, shown here, it's very, very deep. It's more like a chocolate mold, like a filled chocolate mold. Oh, I didn't get this. Did I get this? I want this. I need to get this. This is beautiful. And she's got some more whimsical. I got this. But what I was saying, when I didn't realize that I wasn't showing you the screen, she's got these buttons mold, and in it there's some hearts. Maybe she's out of the hearts best flexible molds. Oh well. Yeah, I'm going to use real soon the scarab one in a tutorial, so if you don't have it and you want to get ready and you like Egyptian stuff. I just saw it. It's so much stuff in here, it's easy to get lost. Anyway, let's get back to making these. But anyway, you can do, this one is a very cheap hearts thingy, and you can do a lot of stuff. Of course, you can use your cutter, but by what I've noticed, this kind of stuff looks much better on a mold, just because the way it changes. So when you move, it's going to change much more and make much more of those chatoyancies that it normally does. So let's get, why did I take this off? Let me grab a wax paper. What you have to be very, very careful with, and because normally when you do any kind of mica clay, and the idea is, okay, let me see if I missed anything. Yeah, I've been stalking on clay too. The idea is that whenever you do any kind of mica shift, even the one with the shaving, no matter how careful you burnish, there's always going to be a minuscule, very, very thin layer on top that's going where the mica particles are going to flatten, just because you keep rubbing. But when you sand a little bit more forceful, so that you get below that level, and then you'll get a much more striking mica shift effect. So let's go ahead and burnish these, and very careful. You know that the main problem with a Natasha is the line in the middle. So remember, when burnishing, you do not roll, you press. Why is wax paper the best for burnishing? Because it will show you, see, like here where it's whiter, this is where the wax paper is not in contact with the clay. So I need that, I know that I need to press here a little bit longer. This is my small acrylic block that I use mostly for burnishing and for making little strings. And from time to time lift it so that you won't have any issues about it. And you can use also your roller, but don't roll, always just rub with it. And yeah, I could have done this a little bit thinner, but oh well. Okay, so we got one. Now on this one, always make sure that you got your two slices well symmetrical into each other. But this will create a beautiful symmetry on your hearts. And your hearts will look, of course you can do a cane with profiles. We can look into that. But don't forget the trick with the sanding. It's going to look beautiful. Okay, so this one I didn't cut them properly. One is thinner than the other. That will be your main issue. You have to be very careful about that. Both slices are about the same thickness. And on these ones you cannot sand to what do you mean? Item press sheet. I don't know what that is, honestly. And wax paper is cheap. I don't know how it is where you are, but I guess I get the cheapest possible. So I maybe spend $1 a month on wax paper. Okay, let's do one more just to be, because I have 4. So let's do one more. I like this one better. But yeah, if you use regular paper, you have 2 issues there. Number one, it's not transparent enough to show you what's happening underneath and where you should insist. And number 2, it's not as shiny. Usually after you burnish, if you burnish properly, you don't really need to do a lot of sanding. Your surface is already very, very nice and shiny. And number 3, it might leach a little bit your clay, you know. Get this here. Okay, your best bet is to have your molds already baked, or you can do the flat ones and you can do a resin on them, but I will show you, and as I said, this is why I chose Premo to show you this, because it shows really good even when it's raw, when it's not baked. But once it gets baked and nicely sanded and buffed or varnished or resined, it looks even 10 times better. And of course you'll want to put these to go straight through the middle, the central line, obviously. I'm good, James. How about yourself? Alrighty. Now this is a little tiny, but I think it might work. So this will be your biggest problem, to make sure that you set it right in the middle. And then you can do the back once it's done. You can do the back with some more whatever's left over. Just place it on the back. Okay, let's do this one here. And again, careful on the very middle, to place this right in the middle. And to place it better, you can use the handle of a paintbrush. You know, I'm so sorry. You know, I use the cane benders for this. Were you affected by COVID, James? I guess right now we are close to 1 in 4 people having had, not 1 in 4, sorry, 1 in 10, 1 in 10, 11, something like that. I think I saw it. What worries me, honestly, is because I've been following a lot the news on the variants and stuff, and what worries me is that South African variant that apparently is really nasty, because it has several mutations, and one of the mutations is on a protein binding spike, and it makes it avoid most of the antibodies, and the vaccine doesn't seem to be very efficient on it. So that's the one that scares me the most. But I'm waiting. I'm in the phase 2 in my state, so I have no idea. Oh, that's horrible. Did you try Kratom? Because it works for me really good. I switched to it by choice, not by being cut off. That is horrible, Darla. And if you ask me, Kratom works pretty good. The only thing is that of course it's not covered. But I was looking forward to switch from opiates because I just got tired of having to deal with having to go to the doctor's office every month. And I had a doctor who was a little bit weird. It was kind of like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He had issues. Okay, I managed to put a black here. Oh well. Guess it's gonna have to do. The only thing that is with the Kratom, I mean, besides the fact that it's not covered, is the fact that it takes a little while longer to work. You don't have that feeling of, you know, sudden relief that you have with the opiate. It just, you know, slowly you realize you're not in pain anymore, but you don't realize when it starts working. And it doesn't give me the same level of fatigue that the opiates were giving me. I mean, that was my most unpleasant side effect, because you know how I've been fighting fatigue for so long. And it got a little bit better. Oops, of course I'm dropping stuff. That afterwards I have to find. There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of people a lot of scientists I'm following on the COVID variants. And you can do your own combinations. I mean, it looks really good if you have a much smaller center than what I did here. I did this so that you can see how I was arranging the stuff. But it depends on how you want to address the whole thing. If you want a larger color, the mirroring thing, or if you want a smaller area. Yeah, just be careful. As I said, marijuana doesn't work for me. It actually makes me sick. I was sick for 2 days when I tried it. And the doctors told me that it's because most likely, and they've seen that in cancer patients where the chemo destroys your endocannabinoid receptor network. So yeah. I will get them all refocused so you can see, even if it's not a full effect, you can see how pretty this whole thing looks like. Because with the camera farther up, you don't see all the changes. Okay. Sure, go ahead. Okay, let us refocus. So remember, here I made a mess. I added a little black, but you can still see all the changes that happen. It's going to look even more, and I will put some I will post maybe a short video on Facebook after I bake these, and I'm going to try and sand them and buff them so you can get a better feeling about how this whole technique looks like. But they look kind of like little stones of some sort, gemstones. And if you're asking, because see, this is not white, you can get this kind of off-white if you mix just a tiny bit of silver. I mean, like for a square like this of white, you need about this much silver and about this much gold to get that off-white that I used here. And which of them I didn't show? I think it's this one. As you see how you can get some, it's almost like mother of pearl. But once again, you can make all these variations. Let me get the focus back. And of course you can do other stuff with it, but it's the whole idea of the, and I'll show you how to reutilize these, because you're gonna be left with some extras that you can pretty much get them back together, more or less, because you'll have again the same thing, the middles, and you can reutilize whatever you cut off as edges. And just add them up somewhere in there. And then rebuild your stash. Generally speaking, you want your stash to be a little bit taller. If you do, oh, I remember that. Yeah, see, the thing is, Facebook, and I didn't know how to get hold of you. Facebook has put as a standard question that somebody can ask from a page, like, can I know more about you? Well, unfortunately, that is the exact same question that a lot of catfish ask. So the first couple of times when I got questions of, can I know more about you? I was like, oh my god, another catfish. And that was my main that's my main reply to catfish, just to piss off. So I apologize. I apologize. It was not my fault. It's Facebook's fault, because they don't seem to know much about what's going on. I mean, I even had them, because you know how you have a lot of most of the catfish on Facebook, they would put up photos of various high-ranking retired military, like they would have the photo of a general or a brigadier general or something, and most of the time they take it off of Wikipedia. And there were a lot of cases when I reported those profiles, and Facebook replied, we are sorry, it does not go against our terms of service. And I'm like, how the heck? And I even posted there, it's pretending to be. No, it's just Facebook got too big to be able to work well anymore. When something gets this big, you cannot control it properly anymore. Okay, so once we got this, let's go ahead and do it one more time. So I'm gonna remove this, because the edge, remember, the idea is to have all the slices pretty much equal, and it helps if I see to have even slices. What the heck? I cannot close the door in winter to my craft room, because the way my house is built is to be able to turn lower the thermostat, and if you close the bedroom doors, it can be 50 degrees in the rest of the house, but in the bedrooms it will be like 72 or 73. So if I would do that, because I cannot close the door to my bedroom because of the cats, it would probably bake all my clay in here. So see, you get more of these. And of course you can make cabochons once the whole, you showed me, you can make cabochons and other things with this technique. I mean, it's a neat Natasha type that takes advantage of the mica clay's properties to create something really, really pretty. I mean, I think that if you have all these in cabochons, and if you remember, I showed you, let me see if I can find it, I showed you how to make beads using actual cabochon molds that look really good. Hold on, let me try and remember how I named it. Oh, not Brad's beads. Let's see. because I think I made the cane in a live. Okay, this was it. Yeah, making beads using cabochon molds. Let me put the link in the chat and then switch to show you exactly what I'm talking about. See this. So imagine that you make beads like that using these kind of Natasha beads. It will look absolutely fabulous. Trust me, it will be beautiful. So, as I said, I'm not going to be very long today because of the, let me see where we are right now. Oh, again, it's broken. Their sensor, I think, has been broken for a while. But yeah, you can do all this kind of stuff and it will be absolutely beautiful. Now, remember what I said about the scarab. And the other thing that I'm going to make soon is using some of these molds. You don't have to get them all. Again, Trish has them. They are the Premo marketing molds. But by what I was testing with them, I'm going to make a, not even a jewelry box, probably maybe a jewelry box, maybe a box, maybe, but I thought, and I'm gonna explain to you why, and I'm going to post that as I'm working on them. My bathroom is all in seashell motif. I mean, I have the shower curtains with seashells. The only thing that I don't have anymore is the rug, because it got too old. I mean, I've had this for a long time, and that they were a limited edition. They don't make them anymore. But what I want to do, I want to do a toothbrush holder, and this would work great if somebody has like a more nature based, a toothbrush holder and a soap holder. That Karen gave me the idea, because she actually made a beautiful soap holder, and it was like, why don't I make my stuff, because I cannot find anymore that kind of stuff, but I have polymer clay and I have a lot of scraps, so why don't I go ahead and do that? So I'm going to do something like that using one of these molds, and they are kind of, except this one is the only one that's got these, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not, but anyway, it works. The molds are absolutely gorgeous. I'm in love with them. Let me use a little bit of PolyClay. I've been working on some textures because I got a project, but it looks, the molds are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This is the old PolyClay, the first variant that they sent me to test, and I have several packages, so I'm using it mostly to make textures. It's very soft, but see how beautiful it is. I was actually thinking to make a cameo pendant using this, because this is the only one that has a smaller face. These other two don't have smaller faces. The faces are large, but this one has smaller faces. Honestly, why I got all three, because this one has a smaller face, because this one has these this scrolling, and because this one had square flowers. Crazy, huh? Okay, I shall see you. I should post another tutorial sometime the next week. Not gonna say tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, whatever. Thank you, Skywalker. But there will be another tutorial uploaded next week, and I guess I shall see you Sunday. I actually, if it wasn't for the weather, I was going to make a Bernie mitten pendant, because everybody is crazy about Bernie's mittens, but that would have taken a little bit too long, and me being too much crouched over the table, and that hurts. Okay, bye everybody. Don't forget, if you're new, if you just discovered my channel, subscribe. Don't forget to give me thumbs, and don't forget to hit that little bell to give you notifications, because you know I do get from time to time on, either to show you something or to do a quick giveaway from PolyClay Play, Sarah, and you can also find them in my Amazon influencer store. If you go to my channel and click on about, you can get the links for that. Okay, have a wonderful Sunday. Hi, Glynis.